Hello everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here coming at you with the next Platinum Trophy Guide, and that is going to be for the Order 1886. I'm going to be going through how to get all the collectibles in each chapter, how to get all of the specific kills and things like that along the way, so don't worry about anything missable. After you do the tutorial, you'll have to look at the building right in front of us. To progress, you'll then look at your weapon. And then from here, there's going to be specifically 4 or 5 collectibles that we'll get before we really do anything. So I'm going to show you the path. I'm going to speed it up, of course, from here. But so of course you have to come around to this door. But yeah, anyways, I'll try and speed up the in-between moments, or I'll skip if need be. That way you'll know exactly where you are, because most of this game is pretty straightforward. You can't miss a lot of stuff unless you're just trying to go out of your way to not do that. You can always go back once you beat the game and chapter select if you really want to just farm for certain things like the weapon kills and all that. But for now, we'll just start with the collectibles. Alright, the first collectible is going to be right here. It'll be a newspaper that you can just read and then leave. Then from here, we're actually going to just continue the path. And we'll get the next 2 while we're here. The next one will be just right here. It'll be a photograph. Most of the items that you'll interact with that you can look at, you'll want to view the front and also view the back, because that counts too. Once you do that, you can leave it. Then from here, you'll grab this phonograph. And then from there, we're actually going to head down to when we climb down a ladder. So I'll see you then. Alright, and the next collectible will be right here on this trash can. Make sure that you look over it. Ignore the background noise, or conversation, as I should say. Like always, you'll want to look over everything. And then the next thing will be the last one in Chapter 1, so I'll show you from here. Alright, and the last one found in Chapter 1 is going to be this cool little flask. You can look over it as much as you want, and then you can basically just leave it down. From here I'm going to cut ahead just to the next section, as it'll be a fighting section and all that, and teach you a little bit more about the game. Alright, wanting to...
Target down!
You'll be using your pistol. You're mainly going to want to be focusing on going for headshots when you do this, as well as, if you can, try to hip fire, as those are 2 specific trophies. When you can, also make sure that you grab their revolver, as this will be considered one of the multiple weapons needed for the well-rounded trophy.
You two, get your asses over here! I need help! Come on, go! Let's go, you bloody bastards!
A rifle would be more appropriate.
Escaping down!
Do note you can always, if need be, restart the
More
checkpoint.
escapees coming from the
But
alley.
the main reason that we're going for pistol
Someone heading
headshots
for
is
the
that
atrium.
it's another trophy as well. Another trophy that if you want to farm it right now, you could, is by doing the discombobulate on 30 enemies. All you'll want to do is just run, aim, hit them. Just like that. And then you can simply just restart from the checkpoint. Do that 30 times until you get the trophy. Then from here, you're also going to, if you really want to, you can also do the 75 pistol kills, headshot kills. You'll need to do those. You can then also do the kill with your main weapon. But if you don't want to do that just here, there's going to be a better area that I will show off. So for now, just focus on getting a kill with almost most of the weapons in the game. There we
Enemy
go.
down. I need to reload.
You also need to do fisticuffs as well.
Escapee neutralized. Target down.
So as you'll progress through the game, you'll get more familiar with how the combat works. Things like that.
I'm reloading.
Eventually, once this area is done, you'll be able to come up top. I definitely recommend switching back to the starting pistol. But basically from here, we're just going to skip to Chapter 2, as most of this area is just going to be a tutorial on how to learn the game and stuff like that. Like I said, main stuff's going to more or less come in, I believe it's Chapter 3. So yeah, I'll see you once we're in Chapter 2. Alright, so once you have all the cutscenes and stuff, you will eventually come down into Nikola Tesla's laboratory, and there will be 3 collectibles here that you can find. First one will be here on the right.
Nikola, how fares your friend Edison these days?
Thomas and I are not on speaking terms.
From here, you'll
The
then
man
continue
is an
to
idiot.
the middle. You'll find the next thing that you can interact with here.
Quite an antique. Hard to believe we ever use these communicators.
And then the last thing that you can get collectible-wise in Chapter 2 will be right over here on the left side. It'll be this sketch of
More gibberish
sorts.
to me.
Make sure you are always flipping these over.
You sly duck.
Then from here, we're actually going to skip the little next section, and we're actually going to be going directly into Chapter 3, kind of very quickly compared to what other games would have you be doing. Anyways, I will see you once we're there. It'll be at the very start of Chapter 3, don't worry. Not going to be like jumping into the middle or anything like that. Alright, so once you have made it into Chapter 3, you're immediately going to want to turn around.
A lone chapel stood just there.
Follow this path that I take, and we will get the first
That was before
collectible
even my
of Chapter
time.
3.
The city walls had yet to come up.
There'll be another newspaper. Then we're going to skip to after we move a giant log. So I will see you then.
This way, monsieur.
Alright, so eventually you'll have to move the giant log with Percival. Then you'll have to come up here. And just in this room you'll find the next collectible. Pretty straightforward.
The ashes are still warm.
Now we'll be moving on to the next collectible. Alright, so you'll have a little cutscene where you throw an apple at a guy. It'll just be a short distance from where the last collectible was. So what you want to do from here is then run down the stairs and come into this little shelter area. And then you'll find this document here. Make sure, like always, to flip it over just because. But now we'll be moving on to the next chapter or scene in chapter 3. Alright, so after a small cutscene squeezing through a tight alley, you'll then be in this area, and if you come all the way to the back, you'll find the next collectible. Once again, another newspaper. Pretty straightforward and stuff. The next two will be in the building that we're about to be going into. Alright, so there'll be a small cutscene, you'll lose your gun, that's alright. But the first collectible will be here on this table just to our right. Just be a portrait of a woman named Zelda. Of course, the obvious little Easter egg. From here, we're actually going to head down the stairs to our left. And we'll find a object we can interact with here on this little...
They're getting organized.
I believe it's a shuffleboard table. Oh no, it's a spin roulette. I'm terrible at these kind of games. Identifying them, not actually at them. You'll have a small cutscene or a little interactive. Then just over here on this small little table would be the next collectible in this area. Like always, flip it over. Then we'll move on. From here we're going to be going up to the rooftops. You cannot miss the next two collectibles, so I'll see you then. Alright, so afterwards you're going to end up on the rooftops here, and you're supposed to jump across and then immediately climb up into that room. But the first thing you want to do is come over here to the left. You'll basically just climb up here. You'll find this little chest that you can open up. That'll get us the next phonograph. Then you'll just come back down. Climb back into the room finally. And we'll find the next phonograph right here in plain sight. Now the next thing that we're going to be talking about is going to be a big fight scene area, and that was the one I was referring to in chapter 1, so I'm going to see you when we get there. It's, like I said, pretty straightforward, can't miss it. Alright, so the big, you'll have one big fight with a sniper. Along the way you'll get a couple of new weapons to try out, like a double shot pistol. You'll also get a single shot kind of like carbine. You can ignore the machine gun that is available when you also have the carbine, as you'll be able to pick up the machine gun afterwards. In that fight you'll get a couple of kills, hopefully with each of those weapons. And then from there you'll want to pick up the sniper. You'll head through the alleyways, and then you will find the, you'll find a machine gun that you can pick up after using the sniper. Now the big fight we're going to talk about is once you're going through an alley, there'll be a cart that'll block your path. You'll then have to go up some stairs, and then you'll have to drop down. And you'll know you're in the right area because this dude with a shotgun will rush you.
Shotgunner coming out of the building. Enemy down.
So from here you're basically just going to, this is going to be the big main area. So what you'll want to do is simply kill whoever you can. You'll also want to ignite the barrels.
This is most exciting.
You'll also want to be trying to go for pistol headshots and all that good stuff as well. Make sure you get a kill with the weapons. And then the next thing you actually want to do is you'll want to throw a grenade in the air. You'll then want to use blacklight if possible, which wasn't able to work for me, as I guess it's with pistol ammo, sadly. Okay. But this is going to be the big fight that you're going to be trying to farm. So you'll want to go for melee kills like so. You'll also want to go for from the hip kills. Just doing whatever you can to work on all of the trophies that you can. You can come over here and you'll find some ammo for both your pistol and your rifle. You'll also want, like I said, when you can, get the grenade, and then you'll want to shoot it with while in black sight. That will also get you a gold trophy. So like I said, you're mainly just going to be farming this one for getting the grenade and black sight kill, getting so many kills in black sight, as I believe you have to get so many. You also have to get headshots, I believe. You also want to work on the 75 pistol kills, the 15 for melee kills. You'll need 25 enemy kills without aiming, and you'll need to kill 25 enemies during black sight. And you'll need to kill at least 100 enemies with a headshot. And then as well as getting the 5 enemies with a headshot during black sight. That'll basically be the majority of trophies that you want to farm right now, and do that, as that'll save you the most amount of time, because then all you'll have to do is just get a kill with all of the weapons, get all of the stealth kills, get all the collectibles, and that's really mainly it that you'll have to worry about. But so yeah, just take that in stride. Like I said, in the first chapter, you want to farm the Discombobulate trophy for stunning 30 enemies with that one weapon. So from here, you want to go through, farm, do all that, and then I will see you once this big fight is over, as then we will continue with the collectibles. Also, I almost forgot, don't forget to also destroy the barrels, as you need to destroy so many of those while playing through the game, and since there's 3 of those here, you can do that. So basically, how you're going to farm this is you'll get however many kills. You want to at least make sure that there's still 1 enemy left, and then you'll just restart from the checkpoint, and that'll be right before the dude with the shotgun rushes you before you're in this little trench area. I should have clarified on that, but actually now we're going to go to the collectible. Alright, so after the big fight, after you've done all your farming and stuff, make sure that you've gotten everything that you're absolutely comfortable with. Pick up our original pistol. You'll climb up after pushing a cart, and you'll come over into this left area instead of going to the right, and you'll find the next collectible. From here, we're going to move to the next area where you're going to be jumping through a little window area. Alright, so after the small Sentinel 5 section, you'll come into this little area. Hard to miss, actually impossible to miss, and you'll find what appears to be a familiar Sony mascot, the Sackboy. We're now going to move on to the next area, and this might take a bit. Alright, so the next trophy that you can work on will be once you get the Thermite Rifle. You'll come out here, and then you'll notice that you can light enemies on fire with the R2-L2 combo, as you'll see, like so.
I see them.
Basically, like all of the other trophies, you can basically just farm this specific checkpoint to get all that you need. As you'll see, you can easily get pretty much almost all, if not most of the trophies from, or most of the kills from 1 or 2 restarts of this checkpoint.
No!
We have to help it.
But anyways, from here, you're basically just going to follow through the path. You'll then end up in the next building, and then we'll have a small cutscene where we'll see the effects of the water that we drink, and we'll be able to get our next collectible. Alright, so after the small little cutscene, you'll be in this little area. You'll find the collectible right here.
Just rest easy, son. You're going to be all right.
Like always, you should just flip them over, double inspect them.
The rebels are regrouping.
We'll be now moving on to the next collectible. It will be probably a short distance from here. Alright, so after you destroy the bridge, you'll come into this little side area here. And immediately in this room will be the last collectible of Chapter 3. And that is where I'm going to be ending the first video in this series. I'm not trying to overwhelm or have these videos be too long. Trying to do as many chapters as possible.
Find a way to join us.
Understood.
Without making it too long or too short. Just enough, as this one basically goes over pretty much how to get more than half of the trophies in the game, as there's not too many. But anyways, I will see you all in the next video.